Hello, hello, hello! What's happening, everybody? MCOC Droid does back again for another video on Marvel Contest of Champions. Today is July 4th. Happy 4th of July to all of my fellow US players and anyone else celebrating it. I got a lot of things going on today. Of course, the big stuff is are the 4th of July offers, which I won't be going into in this video. I wanted to talk about the Micro Realms subquest, side quest, whatever the heck you want to call it. I wanted to give a full breakdown of this whole event now that it's starting to get rolling and more details are coming out, as well as doing the first master run, or tier 4 of the Micro Realms, excuse me. So, like I said, I'm going to do a full breakdown. If you're just intrigued about the Master Rift or whatever itself, I'll put a timestamp in the description down below so you can skip ahead. But like I said, I will be doing a full breakdown. So this got rolling yesterday. The pin canisters show up in the store here. As you can see, they're the 4 different levels for different amounts, and I'll go into that in a moment. And so this is kind of a play on the dimensional rifts, the chaos rifts that have popped up a few times in the past. These themselves have also popped up before, but it's been quite a long time. But essentially they're a version of the rifts that maybe more recent players are familiar with, either, again, the dimensional rifts or the chaos rifts. Exact same thing, just a different name on them. So similar to those rifts, you have to earn a certain number of canisters, in this case the PIM canisters, and trade those in for the discs in the store, which I was just showing you. So this all really got started yesterday with this in-game message, and so hopefully you should have seen this by now. If you haven't, be sure to check your in-game mail. It had a bit of a breakdown as to, you know, what is it all about? How do you earn these canisters? What do you do with the canisters, etc., etc.? But it was actually the very first way of earning canisters, because attached to it, which I have already claimed, were 250,000 free PIM canisters, which I thought was nice. Nice little touch. Okay, cool. So moving on to here, you'll earn PIM canisters in a variety of ways this month. Here's a list of when and where they will be available. So first up, there's going to be a special calendar that, again, you should have already seen. It should have already started for you. I live out in California, so these calendars, excuse me, always reset at 5 p.m. my time. And so yesterday, sure enough, once it hit 5 p.m., the special calendar popped up. So as you can see, pretty straightforward, just 7 days of canisters there. I did the math. Each calendar, all 7 days combined, are 68,750 canisters. And this mentions that it will run for 4 weeks. So if you multiply that by 4, it is a grand total of 275,000 canisters just from logging in. Nice and easy. So add that to the stash. So even just from logging in and from the in-game mail that I was telling you about from yesterday, that's already over 500,000 canisters for free, for doing absolutely nothing, just for logging in and for opening up this mail from yesterday. The second way to earn them, as you can see, is through the event quest, and that just got started here in game today, about 3 hours or so ago. So again, it's similar to the rifts, where you can get a certain number of canisters for each difficulty, and I'll just go ahead and show you here real quick. Oops, sorry. For the rewards. So again, similar to rifts, you can get a certain number of canisters just from your first completion, and then for 100% full exploration. So as you can see here, it's a grand total of 150,000 for beginner. It is 225,000, excuse me, for normal. There we go. It is 300,000 for heroic. Scroll down there. 375,000 for master, and 450,000 if you happen to be uncollected. So of course this won't apply to everybody, but if you are uncollected, those are added in as well. So those all combined, beginner through uncollected, if you're able to do so, are 1.5 million canisters. So again, This is nothing special. This is nothing out of the ordinary. These are just extra rewards that come in as you're doing the event quest. So if you're running all 5 difficulties already, then great. You get these extra bonus rewards that you can use how you see fit. So again, you're not really having to go out of your way for those. Now, the other 2 ways of getting the canisters are still a little up in the air. As you can see, so starting July 5th, PIM canisters will be added to the milestone rewards for 4 to 5-star featured hero arenas. So, as of the recording of this video, that's going to be tomorrow, so we have not seen what those amounts will be. Similar to this next one here, it says not until July 18th, so halfway through the month. So the back half of the month, PIM canisters will be included with the daily quest rewards. Now, I don't know if that'll be like special daily quests where, sometimes they'll run the Vanquishing Blows events and have that special, or if they're just going to add them to the regular 7-hour or 22-hour solo quests. So things like Mystic Arena Battle or Level Up or Mutant Advancement or whatever it is. So those details are still yet to come in. So we'll see. So again, just by getting this 250,000 for free from this in-game mail, plus from the daily logging calendars, plus if you run all 5 event quests 100%, if maybe you already do that. But just from those, that's just over 2 million in PIM canisters, which again, totally free, nothing extra that you have to do. So it's just able to do some extra little rewards there for you. So now coming into here, as I mentioned before, there are 4 tiers or 4 difficulties for these PIM discs, these PIM particle discs. As you can also see, each has their own value, as well as a purchase limit. So real fast, I did the math on this as well, actually. So your tier 1 here, it's 50,000 canisters. You can get it a total of 10 times, so that's pretty straightforward. 500,000 canisters for the whole thing. For tier 2, those cost 125,000, limit 10, so that's 1.25 million. Tier 3 is 325,000 each with a limit of 8. And then finally tier 4, if I scroll on down there, those cost 500,000 each and you have a limit of 5. So, if you were to try and get every single one of these, that would be a grand total of 6,850,000 PIM canisters to get every single one of these discs. Now, again, I mentioned it's a little over 2 million if you 100% all 5 difficulties of the event quest, log in every single day from that calendar, and from the initial 250,000 that you got from that in-game mail. So obviously that's a pretty wide gap right there. And so we're waiting to see, like I said, how many you'll be able to get from the arena milestones and whenever those solo quests start having the canisters as well, to see how many that is. So unfortunately, can't do the full math just yet. But if I need to, I can do a follow-up video perhaps later in the month once we're able to know more. But why wait, right? Start planning now so you don't start losing out on those canisters. Now, there was one other way so far to get PIM canisters, and I did go for it just so that I could go ahead and do this first run of Master, or Tier 4, or whatever you want to call it, to show off for you all and to add for the channel, etc., etc. There was this bundle that showed up in the store yesterday. It had a countdown timer of the usual 24 hours, so it should have expired this morning. I've been seeing, though, that it just got replaced with another one for the exact same dollar amount with the exact same contents that now has like an 8 or 9 day countdown on it. So if you did not buy it yesterday, it should still be in the store if you are on iOS, so if you're on Apple. But if that's not the case, feel free to comment down below so that I am not giving out false information. So this was a $20 bundle, and again, it was an App Store exclusive, not for Google Play. And you can only buy it one time. So it had another 250,000 PIM canisters, 1,000 4-star shards, 1,500 3-star shards, 10 of these new greater golden crystals, which are similar to the gold pool gold crystals. They give you a minimum of 4,800 gold, with the max being 100,000. And then 3 energy refills. So again, it was for 20 bucks. I went ahead and did it, like I said, so that I could go ahead and already have the 500,000. As you can see right there, I do. To do one of these master runs or tier 4 runs. So I'm going to go ahead and buy the first one here from the PIM Canister store. And there we go. Got it. All right. So that is the first one. As you can see, again, those are for the best rewards, but you can only do 5 of them. Now, one thing I didn't mention earlier, like I was saying, to do all of these discs took what, 6.8 million or whatever. The one thing that's different with these versus, you know, like the rift shards from the chaos rifts, dimensional rifts, things like that, is even though there are the 4 different tiers of these discs, you can use your PIM particles any way you so choose. So like, it's not tier 1 specific shards or tier 2 specific shards. You get all of these canisters and you divvy them up however you want. Maybe you want to save up and only do these tier 4 runs. Maybe you want to do a bunch of tier 3 runs. I'll have a link down below in the description as well for the original forum post, which will break down all the rewards for each difficulty. But yeah, so you're not tied in with like tier 3 specific canisters. The canisters are just one big pool and you decide how you want to use them. The last thing I'll say before I get into the actual run, one thing they mentioned, I don't know if it was in here. Yeah, here we go. After the event ends, we will be offering PIM crystals for a limited time. You can buy these crystals with any leftover PIM canisters. Keep in mind that Micro Realm quests offer far higher rewards than these crystals, so explore the Micro Realm while you can. So again, it's similar to the rifts, where if you want, you can open a crystal instead of running one of these realms. From what I understand in the announcement post, which again will be down below in the description, the crystals will only contain premium hero crystal shards, 3-star, 4-star, and 5-star shards. That's it. No rank up materials, no awakening gems, nothing. Just straight up premium 3-star, 4-star, 5-star crystal shards. That's it. No full crystals, nothing else. So again, if you are able to, make sure you're using up all of your canisters for these discs rather than waiting for the crystal at the very, very end. Because as they said, exactly the same as Chaos Rifts, Dimensional Rifts, running those are always going to have better rewards than just opening the crystals. I mean, yes, it is all up to chance, of course, just like the Rifts were, but you will have a much better chance of getting better rewards if you do the runs versus just opening the crystals and hoping for the best. All right, so now that I bought the Master Disc, as you can see, that one is highlighted, ready to go, because these are still locked off since I don't have any of the discs. So again, similar to the Rifts, especially as you get higher up in difficulty levels, the energy costs get up there as well. So as you can see for this one, it is 5 energy per tile. Now again, exactly the same as Rifts, you know, once you enter it, you get 1 hour to do it, and that's it. If you don't finish because you get distracted by something else, or you don't have enough energy, or, you know, you get killed and run out of items, whatever it is, if you don't finish it by the end, you will not get whatever reward that you are supposed to get from the random path selection, and you will not get the disc or the canisters back. So, as always, do not go into these until you are super ready to do it and to finish it. You know, so plan ahead, make sure you have the energy, whatever you need, but don't go in until you are super ready to do it and do it all at once. So that's just the standard disclaimer for Rifts, and now in this case the Micro Realm, excuse me. Just make sure you're ready to go before you hit this begin quest button, because here you go. You'll be locked to the chosen difficulty until the quest is completed or closed. Upon entry, the quest must be completed within the specified time period. The start cost will need to be repaid if you leave or time out. So yeah, you don't get to leave and come back. You don't get to retry it. You know, it is what it is. So just make sure you're ready to go. So I am, and I am hopping into it. Let's see what it looks like. Okay. So you have the one fight to start off with, which is already better than the regular rifts, because I believe that's 2 fights that you start off with until you get to the randomized path selection. So we've got 6 paths, and again, if you're interested in the rewards for the different difficulty levels, check down below for the description of the forum post. Since this is tier 4, the only thing that you can get are either 5-star shards or tier 2 alpha frags. So yeah, so we have the one fight, then you get to the portal. Looks like each little path has 3 fights on it, and then 2 more at the end for your final fights. Looks like I am up against a 5-star wasp, and I have not fought her yet, of course, so hopefully I will be able to stumble through it. Alright, so let's get into the fights themselves. I'm just going to kind of roll through these and chat with you all a little bit, I suppose. So that's a total of, what is that, 6 fights then, if it's 1 plus 3 plus 2. So not bad. Again, you know, like I was saying earlier, running these rifts, or in this case the micro realm, or whatever you want to call it, is always better than just opening a crystal. Now, sometimes, you know, you'll want to open a crystal. Maybe you're at a point where you can't finish off the higher difficulty, and, you know, that's all you have left to get for this one. You know, maybe you do all the tier 1s and tier 2s, but you don't have the roster to do a tier 3 and tier 4. So, you know, you wait until the crystal pops up and you get that instead, or you run out of time or whatever it is. But, you know, except in those extreme circumstances, you should make sure you're always running these realms rather than just opening the crystal at the end. All right, so like I said, 6 paths. You can see the different breakdowns of the percentages there. And I need to, I guess, tap off of that. Instead of picking a specific path, I just need to chance it. What do we got? It is... Ooh, I got a 4-star chest for the first one. I don't know if that's going to be the top tier 2 alpha frags, or if it's going to be the top, whatchamacallit, 5-star shards. I'm not sure, but I am excited. I am definitely excited. Now, one thing that popped up, and I think it's been fixed by now, I'm not sure. I know it's at least been addressed by the mods on the forums. One thing that was happening if you were running difficulty like a tier 1, tier 2, or tier 3. So if you remember with the rifts, when you ran the rift, you know, when you finished it up, you got whatever your reward was for your random path, but then you also got 5,000 shards for the next difficulty above. So if you ran a tier 1, you know, you would get your 3-star shards or whatever it was, but then you would also get 5,000 tier 2 shards, so that essentially you would be halfway towards running the next highest difficulty. Well, here, that's not supposed to happen, because the only way you can run these are by buying the discs, which you get from canisters. So there's no way to be getting half of anything, essentially. Just let me do that, and he did. So what was happening yesterday when people were starting to run these, if they did a tier 1, a tier 2, a tier 3, is that they would see 5,000, there's that 4-star chest, they would see 5,000 like chaos rift shards or whatever, when it shouldn't be anything. Excuse me. Like I said, the mods on the forums did confirm it, and they said it's just a visual bug. It does not take away with whatever reward you are getting for running the micro realm. So it's just totally unintended, you know, left in from the last Rift event, I would imagine. And it's not supposed to be there. So, but it's not affecting any of the rewards, which is nice. One thing they did comment on, if you remember with the Rifts, when you ran a tier 4, since there was no higher difficulty for you to get shards for, you would instead get 500 5-star shards. They did confirm that they left those in for the micro realms as well. So when I finish this up, I'm going to get whatever I get from my 4-star chest, as well as 500 4-star shards, 5-star shards, excuse me. It sounded like they were going to take it out, but then they just decided to leave it in as that, you know, little extra reward for running Master, or Tier 4, or whatever you want to call it. So you know that no matter what, if you are able to run 5 of these, then guaranteed you're getting at least 2,500 5-star shards, in addition to whatever the other rewards will be, either more 5-star shards and or Tier 2 alpha frags. So, not too shabby. And again, like I was saying earlier, you can get 2 million just from running all of the event quest difficulties 100%, the daily login calendar, and the extra 250,000 that we got from the start email, which is cool. Alright, so I'm going to try and focus here and not die to this Wasp, since I have no idea what her moveset is, and no idea what her specials are. So here we go. Whoa. Okay, good. I was kind of hoping I wouldn't have to run into any difficulty and just be like a pretty straightforward fight. Of course, I am looking forward to seeing more of Wasp, but yeah, we'll leave it at that for now. So that ends the Tier 4 run. There's the 500 shards and 7,200 Tier 2 alpha frags. I thought I had saw that there was something even better than that, like at least 10,000 or so. I'm going to screenshot that because I am intrigued. So yeah, I'm interested by that. I thought the top one was more, or maybe even though it was a 4-star chest, I still didn't get the top reward. So I am intrigued by that. But there's the 500 5-star shards as well. So yeah, like I said, these are totally independent of everything else. We'll be running all month. So yeah, keep an eye out for the arena milestones starting tomorrow, and for the solo quests later in the month. So that will do it for this full breakdown of the Micro Realms side quest. If you enjoyed it, feel free to smash that like button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Aside from that, thanks very much for watching, everybody. Take care. Happy 4th of July, and I will see you next time.